Blank Park Zoo is really proud to have a Motus unit here on site. We are working in collaboration with the Iowa DNR and the Des Moines Audubon Society. And why this is important is this Motus unit is going to track birds that are migrating through Iowa and through the Des Moines area, hopefully. And so you might see birds that are coming from South America or Canada or anywhere in between, and it gives us data points. It's part of that research, which we're really proud to be a part of. And we want to teach others what they can do to help save birds here in Iowa and understand the connectivity that we have with birds from South America all the way up to Canada and the rest of North America.
My name's Anna Buckart-Thomas, and I'm the avian ecologist with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. So I focus on research and conservation of all the non-game species of birds in Iowa. So pretty much don't think about waterfowl and turkeys too much, but all the other birds, the things you see in your backyard, most of that is kind of under my umbrella. And so I do research and monitoring and conservation for those species.
Hi, I'm Denny Thompson with the Des Moines Audubon Society. So Des Moines Audubon had some funds that we wanted to spend locally, and Motus is kind of a hot thing going now with the migration.
So the Motus network is based on radio telemetry. So there's three main components: an antenna, which is listening, a receiver, which is interpreting what the antenna hears, and then a transmitter, which is on the wildlife and emitting a radio frequency. And so kind of in traditional wildlife telemetry, each individual animal would have a unique frequency tag. And so every time you want to listen to a particular animal, you change the dial on your receiver to match that frequency. Motus is really cool because it works on just one frequency. And so all the tags on that frequency are micro-coded, so the station can automatically just be set up and always listening to just one frequency and still be able to detect and understand unique individual identifications of animals. In Iowa, we have somewhere around 15 Motus stations right now. Many of them are hosted on DNR buildings, but also we've got great partners like the Blank Park Zoo and county conservation boards, and they're hosting stations so that we can detect any migratory birds that are tagged that come through the state. So our first stations came up in August of 2021, and we've been kind of slowly building the network since. Our kind of big vision is to have a fence of stations across the middle of the state, moving east to west, so that any north-south movement through the state would be captured. And then we're also excited to put stations along the rivers, the Missouri and the Mississippi, to catch the migration that happens through those kind of really important habitat corridors.
For saving habitat, we want to know where important areas are, especially with migration. Tracking the migration really gives folks the data that they can use to maybe target conservation areas that need to be enhanced.
Especially for birds, we think of this concept of full annual cycle conservation. So a lot of our bird species are migratory. So they might breed here in Iowa, or we might see them here in the winter, but they're not here all year long. So they're going other places. And so if we think about conservation as a whole, what do we need to do? How do we have to understand the connections between breeding and wintering locations, and how do we understand the movement between those locations in order to conserve habitat during migration and during wintering, as well as the breeding season. So that full big picture is really important, and Motus helps us understand that big picture.